Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause here, and I'm keep giving you videos about these special elections because there's not much else going on right now, and this is exciting stuff. So we have some early results in, and I wanted to give you an update on that. And as I can show you here, Ralph Norman in the South Carolina U.S. House General Election, 5th District seat, is he this is pretty much all we have so far are a lot of the early votes, have all been counted, and then there's a bunch of the regular precincts are in, but so far Ralph Norman is winning by almost 2,000 votes. And so while it looks close, I mean, this is counting, this is counting a lot of the early votes. So Republicans generally turn out better on election day. This is very good news for the Republican, although it's closer than expected, especially with 79% of precincts in. But it does look like it's going to be Republican. And in Georgia, we have Karen Handel leading as well over John Ossoff, and only 24 precincts reporting at this point. So this is a much further, but the fact that Karen Handel already has a lead, the surprise here, to be honest, is that South Carolina is closer, and it just updated, so he's got Norman is growing it a little further. His his vote total isn't going up, but the vote total of these third party has gone up a little bit, and Archie Parnell has gone down a little bit. But the big surprise here is that the South Carolina race is closer, or as about as close as the Georgia one. This Georgia one was supposed to be like extremely close, and South Carolina one was, the Republican was supposed to win by pretty much a landslide, even though Parnell had made a late push. Now, I did find this down here. There's this uh, poll that was done that I didn't see before from the May 17th and 18th, where Parnell had 36% of the vote and Norman had 53% of the vote, with 11% undecided. So even if the entire 11% went for Parnell, he would only end up with 47%. But, this was back in May, so a lot can happen in a month. But it does kind of show you, too, that if in Georgia, if Handel is leading by this much this early, that's very good news for her. Um, and if I scroll down here, just some district history, as the Republicans been winning for a long time by significant margins, and here was the special election in 2017, before the runoff, and Handel, got 19.8%, so she beat her Republican counterparts by quite a bit. And if you add up all the Republicans and you add up all the Democrats, the Republicans have like 51% to Democrats 49%. So there is a small advantage there. And, that's about how it's turning out so far in the vote count. But it is important to note that as, votes come in, they come in by geographical areas. So, it's not like you're getting votes from all over the state slowly. You're getting one precinct entirely, then another precinct entirely. And when you count a Republican precinct, it can really, boost the Republican. And then you count a major Democrat precinct, and it boosts them like crazy. So You do have to just wait and watch to see how it plays out, but so far, good news for the Republicans. I wouldn't say great news, I would say good news. And hopefully they can pull off a victory. And it, to look at the New York Times, who I know a lot of you hate the New York Times, but I'm going to continue to stress it. The New York Times has the best uh, online election live results out of anybody. And the thing is, what do you hate about the New York Times? You hate that they will slant stuff, right? In their opinion pieces. This isn't an opinion piece. This is just reporting on facts. And if the New York Times would do more stuff like this, there could be a lot of stuff a lot of people would really like. I mean, this is so user friendly, and they have like pretty much everything you could want is here. Like, look at, they have this estimated margin, and it doesn't really make sense for them to skew this because what would be the point in that? It would just make them look bad, and it's not actually going to impact any votes as the voting has already closed. So, as when I looked at it, when I started up the stream, it was at about like +1, and now it's plus 1.6. That's a percentage in points, and the reported margin is plus 1.7. So, Handel is on her way to victory, according to this New York Times. But it's early, well, somewhat early, and things can still change. Like I said, how much of the vote was in? It was like 25%, I think. I know it says over here. So 24% of the precincts, 89% of the precincts in South Carolina now in. So this is going to be very tough to overcome for Parno. And it's now 39% is in, and the lead's growing for Handel. The lead is growing for Handel, almost 2% now. This is, or actually almost 3% now. It's 2.8%. So let's reload this here. And, we can see that 89% in, and the lead's growing here. And if we scroll down, they don't have the margin thing here, because they didn't really expect this to be as close as it is. So they didn't put the margin thing here. So, but they did estimate for this race, and I'm just gonna keep refreshing, because I think by the time I stop recording this, we'll pretty much have the race shown. Oh, it just moved. And it does automatically refresh, but sometimes it's best to manually refresh it yourself too. It just moved. Okay, as you can see, it just is moving major. It's moving major. Handel is on her way to victory. Look at this. This is the spread, and it's now where the dark red was slightly overlapping by like 1%, so there was still a reasonable chance. And now it's just on the edges. The Democrat victory is just on the edges now of even the light red, the light shading. So you can pretty much call this race over at this point. Karen Handel is going to win. The Republican is going to win the Georgia 6th congressional district, and it looks like Ralph Norman continuing to grow that margin. At 89%, it looks like And what was the final percentage here? Um, let's see. As you can, well, here's a little graph where you could see it's going, kind of got close here, and then the Republican spread it out again, and and then it like really dropped for the Republican. So, and I think this dotted line is um, where the vote is expected to be. So, it is slightly above where they're estimating at this point, but it's close enough, and you know the Republicans gonna win this race. So expect Handel to finish this victory off, and here, this one has the percentage. So it's now 50% and a 10,000 vote lead. 52.6% to 47.4%. Folks, Trump-led Republican Party is leading to Republican seats. That's what we can take from this. Montana, from everywhere from Montana to where was, I forgot where the other one was, but there was another seat that the Republicans won, and now they're winning Georgia, they're winning South Carolina. Georgia, they poured tons of money into Georgia, the Democrats did, and they're gonna come up short, it looks like. So, they're not going to continue to be able to pour all this money in, and they really need to flip some of these heavy Republican states if they want, or districts, if they really want to, take back the House, because the Democrats have so much work to do. The House was so far Republican, and right now they're not winning anything. So this is very good news if you're a Trump supporter. I'm gonna get off now, and I'll probably post another update closer to the end of the election. And this is very good news. Let's look at this one last time. See if anything's changed in the median forecast. It's come back a little bit, plus 2.5, but the reported margin now plus 3.2. Remember, it was like around 1, jumped to 1.8. So, we're the reported margin's 3.2, and expected only to come back to 2.5. Oh, just 2.6 now. So, yep, the Republican is well on is overperforming at this point, and well on their way to victory. Have a good one, guys.